Coming up next, is work just a necessary evil? And then, automated resume scanners are rejecting millions of qualified resumes. We'll break that down. And of course, we take your calls, and it starts now. Welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. I'm Ken. So thrilled to have you with us. We're discussing your purpose. This is an age-old topic. Millions and millions of people have put out all kinds of opinions, I'm sure, but the reality is people are still searching for it. Why? Because the reality is you know there is a purpose, and I want to simplify the search. The answer lies within you, and when we can figure the process out for discovering purpose, then the journey is a whole lot simpler. It doesn't have to be this wandering search. It starts with some wondering, intentional wondering. You were created to fill a unique role in your work. And finding purpose in your work will help you find purpose in every area of your life. I absolutely believe it. If you're not sure about that, stay tuned. Dive in. We want to help you figure out that unique role that you were created to fill. You are needed, and you must do it. A life lived contributing to others is a life well lived. 844-747-2577 is the phone number, 844-747-2577. We'll get to the phones in just a moment. But first, let's just look at one of the big challenges before we talk about maximizing ourselves and being great at who we are supposed to be. We've got to have the right viewpoints on work. And most people in this world have come up in an environment where work is a necessary evil. If you think about that idea, well, I got to do it. That's where the necessary evil phrase really comes from. Well, work sucks, but I can't starve. I mean, think about that for a moment. Got to do it. Got to work. We teach our kids, have a good work ethic. Got to learn how to work hard. And there's no mention of joy, passion. Hey, you got an opportunity to do something that you love and make a difference in this world. We don't talk about work that way. So let's look at the cultural view of work, the popular view of work, the predominant view of work. Let's go to one of the greatest cultural influences that speaks to how culture views something, and then how culture continues to view it. How about music? Is there a greater cultural influence than music? So let's look at how we begin to communicate our worldview about work, even to youngsters. How about the Seven Dwarfs? Any Disney fans out there? I know I'm a big Disney fan. I'm such a big Disney fan. I asked Stacy to marry me at Disney. We'll tell that story sometime in the future. Seven Dwarfs. Joe's trying to figure out what the song is. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. Now, okay, so this is one of the most popular Disney songs still. The Seven Dwarfs, they're all walking in a line, and it's drudgery, and they're heading off to work, right? Looks like Monday mornings, and they're all singing, hi ho, it's off to work we go. But I want you to listen to some of these lyrics here, and I'm not going to sing them. I should, but I think Nathan would probably cut the whole feed. So here we go. We dig from early morn till night. We dig. 7 digs, by the way. 7 doors. We dig up everything in sight. We dig up diamonds by the score, 1,000 rubies, sometimes more. But we don't know what we dig them for. We dig. There's the first. You think about that. And by the way, this is a movie that I think came out in 1935. You fact checkers out there could check me. I think I'm right about that. This is a kid's movie. The Seven Dwarfs. We don't know why we dig. We don't know what we're digging for. We're just digging. All right? Let's keep going. Probably the most famous work song of all time, Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. Joe, you remember back in the day we had Dolly on the show? The original Ken
yeah.
Coleman Show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Dolly Parton. Now, here's what's interesting about this song. I think 9 to 5 is probably the most famous working song of all time. It's up there. And you got Sweet Dolly. Like, Dolly could read the phone book, and we'd all feel good about ourselves because it's Dolly Parton. Listen to some of these lyrics. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taken and no given. They just use your mind, and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. They let you dream just to watch him shatter. You're just a step on the boss man's ladder, but you got dreams he'll never take away. Oh my gosh. That's just downright depressing. But when Dolly Parton sings it with a nice jig, we go, yeah. And yet those lyrics are soaking in our head. This is the way most people view work. All right, let's keep going. I know Joe's going to love this one. Due to all the licensing garbage out there, we can't bring you great music on the show like we used to in the old days. But Johnny Paycheck wrote a song, Take This Job and Shove It. I've been working in this factory for nigh on 15 years. All this time I watched my woman drowning in a pool of tears, and I've seen a lot of good folk die who had a lot of bills to pay. I'd give the shirt right off my back if I had the guts to say, take this job and shove it. Ain't working here no more. Well, that foreman, he's a regular dog. The line boss, he's a fool. He's got a brand new flat top haircut. Lord, he thinks he's cool. One of these days I'm going to blow my top, and that sucker, he's going to pay. Lord, I can't wait to see their faces when I get the nerve to say, take this job and shove it. Straight from very popular songs about work. I know there's new people joining the show all the time. You never have any idea who's watching a clip and when they're watching it. But I'm going to tell you something. There is a cultural view of work that is the dominant view of work that's absolutely 100% wrong. And no wonder you're miserable if all you've ever thought of work as something you have to do. No wonder Monday mornings are miserable and Friday afternoons feel like you're being let out of prison. Folks, can I tell you there's so much more? Will you join us in this conversation? Call me. Let's talk about it. You were created for more. You were created to be great. You actually were. Now, great doesn't mean that the whole world knows your name and that you make millions and millions of dollars. Great means you make a great contribution to this world. And all of you have greatness in you. And it's there for a purpose. That's why we do the Ken Coleman Show. Let's help you figure out what your greatness is. What is your mountaintop? How do you then scale it? We have the clear path. The 7 stages will get you there. Let's go. Get clear. Get qualified. Get connected. Get started. Get promoted. Get the dream job. Give yourself away. Live and work like no one else. Live and work on purpose. Be the great you. That's what the world needs. You. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. 844-747-2577. Let's get to the phones. Jawad joins us in Dallas, Texas. Jawad, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken.
Hey, Jawad, how you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Good. How can I help? Hello, Jawad.
Yeah, I'm on the phone. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was, thanks for taking the time to read my question. I just sent it this morning, so you guys were quick. So here's my situation today. I'm a professional in the procurement field. I've been doing it for 10 years. I left the company back in April. I got a package, so I decided to take the package and leave because I want to pursue other career and reflect on the time I have to see where I can go as the next journey. And so I started looking for a job like over a month ago, and I happen to be a licensed mortgage officer in Texas as well. It's a side hustle I've been doing for a while. And then I started looking for jobs in my previous field and also as a law officer just to increase my chances. That was the strategy I've had. See, which career will probably give me more job opportunities. So after like 4 or 5 weeks of searching and interviewing with different companies and different fields, and apparently the only companies that want to hire me are companies in the mortgage industry, more than the companies in the IT where I spent over 20 years, working in. And so today I got an offer in a company as a contractor. It's a great company. It's a 500 Fortune company, but it's a contract job for 6 months only. It pays well, good salary, over 6 figures. And also, I got a job offer as a mortgage consultant in a company that's actually today disrupting the mortgage and the real estate industry. It's a startup, great company, private, actually went public this year. So I got 2 offers, right? So one from a mortgage company and one from a company in financial institution where I'll be helping with their procurement function. And so basically, I'm kind of torn down. We're just not sure what would be the best decision to make. And one I know for a fact, I've done it for many years. I can do it in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
It comes natural to me. It's a complex job, and I'm talking about procurement. It's complex. It requires a lot of thinking, a lot of communication, a lot of negotiation.
Jawad, this boils down to, what's your heart telling you? I think when you decide to call a show like this and kind of take this public and talk to me, that when you dialed up this morning, you were leaning one way or the other. And I think that your heart is the one that I most want to know what the heart is saying. I think I know the answer, but I want you to say it.
Yeah, so I'm leaning toward the mortgage industry.
Yeah, why?
More than the reason being is it's the fact that I will be helping people achieve their dreams, and it's something that passionate about. And I again, when I started my career as a young man, I was not in a corporate. I was in a restaurant for many years. So that exposed me to that.
Yeah. I think here's what's interesting. I think this is all about one thing. And I think that you want to do work that might be very similar to the procurement work you've done in the past. So let's pull procurement out and let's just think about the day-to-day work within that industry. That's probably one of research, details, organization, analyzing, process type work. Is that a fair description?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Correct.
And I think you really enjoy that work, but I think for you want to match that work up to direct people results. I think right now, that's all been process, certainly driving efficiency. But I think that you have a heart to see that kind of work directly connected, the results of that work directly connected to people. That's what I think I'm hearing.
No, you're absolutely right.
Okay,
you're
then.
Correct on that. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
great. So here's what's great about this. All work produces results. Now it's a function. That's why I teach talent, passion, and mission. I think when in the procurement industry, you've been in 2/3 of the equation for truly being on purpose. I think you've had 2 of the 3 indicators, talent and passion. You're good at it, and you actually enjoy the work itself. But when it comes to mission, the 3rd element, the 3rd indicator, results that matter deeply to you, that piece has been missing. So if you are doing the type of work you've been doing in procurement, but the result is directly connecting to people results, and you're going, I'm helping people do this, I think that's the jam. So I think it's not limited to mortgage, but it certainly is opening yourself up to ideas for how do I take that kind of process-driven, organizational-driven, analytics-driven, research-driven type work And I know that when I'm doing that, then I'm directly delivering a result to people. That's going to make you a very, very fulfilled man. And that's working on purpose for you. So all that to say, based on that alone, the mortgage position is the one to take. Now you're going to have to bet on yourself and go, do I believe in 6 months that I can earn another contract extension, or that I can, earn the promotion where they bring me on? I mean, you're betting on yourself there. Now, it's also possible that this is a good opportunity, but not the right opportunity. So let me put it to you this way. If this job offer in the mortgage industry was not a contract 6-month deal, would you even be calling me?
No, I would not.
You would do what? You'd be saying yes.
Correct.
So I think now this comes down to, okay, what do I take from this phone call? What you take is the kind of work you want to do. There's got to be a people result on the end of it. Right? Exactly.
You're absolutely correct.
All right.
The only fear I have today, I'm sure anybody in my shoes will feel the same way, is that it's a new career for me, and so that means once I go into that journey, my procurement career will end.
No, not necessarily.
In a sense,
not true. No. So here's the deal. I totally get it, but here's the thing. Before you take this job, I don't know how much time you have to do this, but I would be getting on the phone, getting on Zoom calls, having lunch and coffee with at least 2 people that do this kind of work now in the mortgage industry, and just sit with them and go, tell me the good, tell me the bad, tell me the opportunity, tell me the landmines to avoid. You got to do your homework on it. Get around people that are doing it. It's the proximity principle. Get around them. Get around people that are doing it and doing it successfully. And then ask everything you can ask, learn everything you can learn, and then your heart will automatically, once your brain has processed the information you don't have, so you're afraid right now because you don't know enough. You don't know if you'll actually like this work. And that, by the way, is the right fear. This is fear protecting you. Go get answers. And and then if your heart goes, oh, yeah, I would really love this work, because you know what the day-to-day looks like, then you take it. If not, pause and go, all right, I'm set right now. I'm stable. And then we look for more of this kind of work.
That's right. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Listen, you're really close to knowing. You don't know yet, but you know what to do to know. Get in proximity to some people who are doing this work, and your heart will tell you yes or no. And by the way, if it's no, don't get discouraged. Or if you go, yep, it's the type of work, but I don't think I want to take a risk like this 6-month contract. I'm going to use the proximity principle and get connected, like Ken told me to, and I'm going to wait for the right opportunity, because I'm out there connecting, and somebody's going to go, oh, hey, Jawad, we got a spot for you, and it's not a 6-month contract. We want you. You're all in. That's the next step for you. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. I want to say a quick hi to everybody watching live right now. I got my eyes on the chat room, and I wanted to just say, hey, if you're in the chat room and you're watching live, give us a thumbs up. Give me a wave in the chat room. Let's see what we got going on there. And those of you that are watching, give us a thumbs up right below the video window, and subscribe and share. We're growing on YouTube, but they're telling me, hey, we got to get these people that are live every day sharing. That's how we grow. So anyway, hi, everybody. How you doing? Let's go to John in Houston, Texas now. John, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm living the dream, John. What's up?
So my question is in reference to, I guess, the modern day interview. I've had the same career for the last 10, 11 years, and I'm looking for a career change. And so getting out and interviewing with new people in a different career field is nerve-wracking enough. But I found that right now I'm having to do it, the initial interviews via Zoom call or Microsoft Teams, virtual interviews. What's some advice to handle those, especially going into a new career field like what I'm aiming towards?
Yeah, so my advice isn't much different than the interview advice I give in How to Win the Interview, which is a free guide at kencoleman.com. And if you don't have that, you got that?
Yeah, I've been following it. So I had my very first interview outside the career field that I'm currently in. I didn't know about it. Then my brother actually was the one that turned me on to it, and I did read through it. Did some more research, and actually, so my first interview with the company was for a job that I had no skill set in. But a lot of companies these days are hiring people with a lot of transferable skills, and they can teach you the skills. So I've been in law enforcement for the last 10 years, so I have a lot of skills. I have a lot of skills, such as the communication, multitasking, interpersonal, relationships, things like that are transferable when it comes to other tasks. I just don't have the hands-on when it comes to some things. So
so here's the deal, though. So here's the deal. Don't apply for stuff that is going to require skills up front. But if they're willing to train it, great. But so here's my answer. So I'm glad you got to How to Win the Interview Guide. Here's why. All I do is give you very practical steps to take to prepare well. Preparation is everything. You know that. I'm maniacal about if you're prepared, you'll perform. You just will, even when you're nervous. Now, I will give you some advice on the technical side of things from Zoom. So a couple things. Number one, test your internet connection multiple times before the interview goes live. Just make sure you got a good connection and that you've tested everything. I would make sure that you choose a pleasing background. It does not have to be a television quality set, but I would not do it on a white drab wall. I would do it in a place that, that the lighting is good in the room, just natural lighting, and it's a pleasing background. I would make sure that it's in a quiet room, So if you got little kids, find a way, go get out of the house, get in a quiet place where you and only you are the focus of the folks on the other side. I would stand up if you can. I've done research on this. You can go do your own. But there is a difference in the energy level when someone is standing versus sitting. So if I was going to do a bunch of Zoom interviews, I would have my camera on the computer. I would have it elevated so that I can stand. And there's just better energy there. Now, you got to be careful on this, not to get nervous and watch yourself rocking back and forth. So stay centered in the shot. You don't want to be a distraction. But if you can stand, I think you're going to have better energy. And then the other thing I would say is what we tend to do on cameras, people who've not done camera work, they tend to look at themselves. I don't know. Every time I do a FaceTime with my dad, he's 70. He's looking at himself in the video the whole time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Correct.
Don't do that. If you're doing a Zoom interview, you've already tested what you look like in the shot. You don't need to look at you. Look them right in the eye, just like you would in person. And and other than looking sharp, make sure you're dressed like you would if you were going to meet them in person. And other than that, I wouldn't treat it any differently, because the interview is the interview. All Zoom is, or video interview, is just simply the format. So if you take care of the technical pieces and make it a pleasing interview to where they're not distracted, that's the only reason I gave you those tips on background and lighting and sound and everything. You just want them to be able to focus on you and stare a hole in their eyes. Don't be weird about it, but look at them the whole time. Stay focused on them. Because if you were in person, you would be looking at them. But at the same time, if you were in person, I wouldn't mind if you were taking notes in an interview and looking at things or whatever to ask. So you can do that. You can glance down and look at any notes that you might have, but just be present, man. Be totally present. Don't overthink this.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I do appreciate it. And I actually had a second interview for the same company, but just for a different position just yesterday.
Great.
It went a whole lot better after reading your tips.
Good.
I can tell you that. The only part that really hangs me up on that part is those some companies, they require those aptitude tests or things like that are required, and I'm not a standardized test taker, and I actually told the lady like this, when you have standardized testing for you're going to get a standardized employee, and what I always focused on and thrived in is I like to constantly challenge the status quo, and
good
so
for you.
That's
good for you. By the way, I want to applaud you. And our audience needs to hear this. I love the honesty there to kind of take care of the elephant in the room. Hey, here's what I know. Been a very successful law enforcement officer, graduated college, blah, 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 but I was never a good test taker. And, and go find some data on that. One of the things that people don't do that we need to do more of is when you make a statement like that, don't just make it all personal. Go do some research on that and go, what are the percentage of people in the world that struggle to take tests. I mean, look for it. There's some data out there somewhere. You just gotta I'm part of the. I'm making this up. I'm part of the 58% of the population that struggles with tests. I know the information, but I struggled in the test. So these standardized tests, I'm happy to take it, but I would love to show you this, and this, and give you this, and this to do more homework on me to see that I am more than just a not so great test taker. You see what boy, that just takes the elephant out of the room, doesn't it?
It does.
And so good on you, man, for having the courage to do that. Because, again, one more reminder, and I'll let you go, John. Hiring managers in an interview are trying to figure out one thing. Are you the best candidate to help them win? It's that simple. They're trying to fill a position. That position helps them win as a leader. Are you the best candidate to help them win? I would have that question hanging over your head in every interview and answer it even though they may not be asking it that way. Find ways to assure them or to make them consider you as, this is the best guy to help me win. At the end of the day, it's about winning. And I think we've forgotten that, folks. I really do. John, you're a good guy. You've got this. Do me a favor. I need to be better at this. Send us an email or hit me up on Instagram at Ken Coleman or wherever, or send an email, ask@kencoleman.com. If you get the job soon, I want to celebrate you. Send us an email and we'll read it and we'll celebrate it on the air, okay?
Will do, man. I appreciate your time.
You bet, man. 844-747-2577 is the number. Folks, listen, I was talking to some of the team this morning. It took me 9 years to get to Ramsey Solutions. I'm sorry, it took me 7 years to get to Ramsey Solutions and another 2.5 to step into my dream job. And then we started this show. And we're coming up on the 4-year anniversary, Joe. We debuted the Ken Coleman Show on Sirius XM. That's all we were on, and then we podcasted it. We debuted September 11, 2017. Hard to believe, isn't it, Joe?
It just like it's a flash.
And boy, did we start humble beginnings. I was not very good at this on-air coaching thing because I'd never done it. I'd coached in person, but to do it on radio or to do it in a broadcasting format, and yet we pressed forward. And then 2 years ago, I began in earnest to pay attention to the thousands of phone calls I have been privileged to do and to coach. And I began to look at my own journey. And I began to look at the journeys of many successful women and men. And I began to build what I felt was necessary, which is a clear path for people to go, how do I take this quest for purpose on? Everybody wants to know their purpose. Everybody wants to be great and do great. But it sure is as intimidating as you know what. So how do we simplify and clarify the journey? And so I began to work on it and work on it and work on it and throw so many drafts away and test it out on there. Test it, throw it away, test it, throw it away, test it, throw it away. And then one morning before 9 a.m. on the beach on the Gulf Coast of Florida, it came to me. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. That's the clear path. And begin to develop it some more, sprinkle it in on the show, begin to let it develop how I coach people. And now it's turned into a book. The brand new book is From Paycheck to Purpose, the clear path to doing work you love. Purpose. How do you move your mindset from I've got to have a job that takes care of my bills to I've got to do what I was born to do. I can be great. I can do great. I can make the income I want and the impact. These 7 stages tell you how. It's the brand new book. It comes out November the 9th. Folks, I believe it's going to change millions and millions of people's lives. So I'm going to candidly tell you, if you watch this show, but you're kind of a passive, you need to consider buying the book and read it. If it does not enlighten you, email me, ask@kencoleman.com, and we'll give you your money back. That's how much I believe in it. It's going to enlighten and encourage and equip so many people. If you pre-order it now, you get it for $20. And we're going to give you over $100 of free items, including the ebook, the audiobook read by me, my Get Hired digital course, my resume templates, a ticket to the online event, the live stream event from Paycheck to Purpose this fall, and because your money is a big part of this equation, a free extended 30-day trial to Ramsey Plus, which is our world-class baby step program, our budgeting tool, Every Dollar, and the debt snowball tracker, and so many great resources. So that's at kencoleman.com. Pre-order it now. Comes out November 9th. We'll ship it to you. There is one bundle at kencoleman.com that includes the Get Clear Career Assessment, something I've been spending time on as well, which allows you to walk through a digital assessment like me sitting there asking you question after question, and it spits out for you an incredible report. This is what it looks like, by the way. If you print it out, this is what it looks like. And you go through and you get a very nice summary on your top 3 talents, your top 3 passions, work you love, and your primary missional driver that drives your work. And it puts it together in a purpose statement that becomes your North Star, your compass, the filter by which you decide everything you do professionally. There's tremendous awareness and meaning in this, a great conversation tool as well. So this is a $30 product. If you buy the book, you pre-order it, you can get the assessment for $10. So that's a $30 bundle. All of that at kencoleman.com. So go get it. It's going to help so many people. Before we go to a quick break, I want to say hey to everybody. Well, not everybody. Yeah, sure, everybody that's watching. We had a lot of people give me a thumbs up and wave. Very, very cool. Love you folks watching live. People encouraging each other here and saying nice things. So there you go. Let's do a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive into how your resumes are getting completely ignored and what you do about it. That is coming up. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. Here to help you get ahead and beat the competition as you are on your way to being the greatest version of you, being who you were born to be, living and working on purpose. All right, so here's the deal. As a part of this purposeful work that I'm doing for you, there's a lot of tactical stuff and practical stuff that we provide you. We provide you our resume guide, how you flip your resume. We give you template with that. We've got the 6 resume templates that are fabulous, that are only $9.99 at kencoleman.com. So we give you a lot of tools, free articles on this kind of stuff. But this is amazing. And you want to know why I partner with ZipRecruiter, the #1 job site in the country? Because they help us with this big problem. Let's get to it. It's time for In the News. Okay, so here's the headline from Morning Brew. Study shows automated resume scanners are mistakenly rejecting millions of viable job candidates. Oh gosh, it's not even funny, but it's this is where technology has got its Achilles heel. 99% of Fortune 500 companies and 75% of the U.S. employers Harvard surveyed use an automated scanner to initially filter candidates, okay? So no big deal. I've been talking about this. We know this. It's just because there's so many applications and the software comes in and, the pitch on this is it helps you filter things. But if you're waiting to hear back from a job interview, your resume might never have gotten into actual human hands. They now know that popular software used by companies, according to Harvard Business School research, shows that more than 10 million potential employees haven't even gotten a look. So what happens is the automatic screeners rely on negative logic to reduce the applicant pool. So resumes, even for people that are well qualified, get lost in a black hole because of things like a gap in the applicant's employment history, a lack of certain credentials, or keywords that don't match up with the job description. Some of the keywords might not be obvious. Hospitals set computer programming as a keyword when they look for registered nurses who can enter patient data into the computer. So here's the deal. You could be a fully qualified registered nurse, and if you're not thinking about this and you don't put anything in there about computer programming, they're going to dump you. So here's the deal. You need to pay attention to the job descriptions before you apply, and you need to make sure that you are putting in those keywords littered throughout your resume. And then the other thing you need to be doing is you need to be taking advantage of the free service that ZipRecruiter offers you. I mean, it's free, and ZipRecruiter happens to be the number one hiring site in the United States. Why? Because what happens is they got companies that are paying them for qualified people. So you go on ZipRecruiter.com/Ken right now, fill out a profile. It's a one-click apply situation. And now your resume is going to start getting matched up by their technology directly to companies. And here's what's great. When a company looks at your profile, gives you a thumbs up on your profile, asks for contact information, ZipRecruiter was going to connect you directly, but they also let you know, hey, they're looking at you. And so it's the best way to get yourself out there, because ZipRecruiter is going to make sure you don't get lost in stuff like this automated filtering software. So go right now. It's free to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, and experience the better way to find a job. It's free. I don't know why you wouldn't try it. So go do it. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right. That is going to do it for us today, but I want to say a big thank you for those of you who've tuned in, and remember this: you matter, and you do have what it takes. The world needs what you have to offer. Let's help you figure it out. Hey, until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.